Hello everybody, Maven here, and it's day 2 of episode Heresy. Shameless plug, but yesterday we just did a massive video testing out all of the exotic overhauls in the episode, if you wanted to check that out. But today we are finally delving into some builds. And to say this is going to be a new era for builds is an understatement. With Bolt Charge, the new aspects, and all of the exotic overhauls, there's just an ungodly amount of builds to cover, so I thought I'd kick it off with my personal favorite. And that's going to be Insurmountable Skullfort on Arc Titan. I'm a Titan main, and I wanted to find the way to spam Bolt Charge as much as feasibly possible. And you have options. You have the Heart of Inmost Light, you have the Eternal Warrior, Synthoceps, the Cuirass, the Point and Contact Cannon Brace, just a lot of options, but the one that I found to be truly the spammiest is the Insurmountable Skullfort. So let's get to it, but just a quick reminder, I'll be doing daily episode Heresy builds over the course of this first week, so make sure to hit that subscribe button, don't miss out, and let's get to it. Hope you enjoy. Shout out to our sponsor, Advanced GG, the #1 gaming supplement in the world. Use code MAVEN at checkout for 10% off. Link down below. Thank you. Alright, so let's start by reading the new patch notes Bungie issued to the Skullfort. It says, as difficulty goes up, Skullfort can feel overly punishing when you fail to land the final blow as its perk demands. And yes, that is true. I can vouch for that personally. To alleviate this issue, we are extending its effect to grant partial refunds from any melee attack to help rebuild that crucial momentum. Now grants energy to arc melee abilities when hitting targets with any melee attack. Amount granted varies based on the melee used, from most to least granted in order from powered melees to non-glaive unpowered melees, while knockout is active, and unpowered melees including glaives. So here's a little example of that. If I whiff my Ballistic Slam, or if it just simply fails to pick up the kill on a chunkier target, I won't be left without a melee charge for like a minute and a half waiting for it to come back so I can continue doing what my build does. Instead, I can just go run around punching things, because when you punch things, it gives you some melee energy return to you. Not only that, but when you gain stacks of Bolt Charge, you get little chunks of melee energy returned to you as well. So with these two things combined, you can get your melee back really quick if you whiff it. So I guess I should read the Insurmountable Skullfort, probably a good idea. I probably should have done that before reading the patch notes, but final blows with arc melee trigger health regeneration and fully restore a melee charge. Melee hits grant arc melee energy. So we are using Ballistic Slam, so if we get a kill with it, we can just spam it over and over and over again. And another reason for using Ballistic Slam over something like Thunderclap or Seismic Strike is because it also got another huge buff. So here are the patch notes for Ballistic Slam. Sprint time requirement before activation significantly reduced. Damage now scales based on distance traveled, so you want to go super high up. Damage versus PvE combatants increased by 30%, and each enemy damaged by Ballistic Slam grants a stack of Bolt Charge, up to the max of 10 stacks if you manage to hit 10 targets with a single activation. So this alone is what's going to allow the Insurmountable Skullfort to spam Bolt Charge faster than any other thing that Titan can do. But this build also allows you to spam Thunder Crashes far faster than any other Titan build can. Whenever I Ballistic Slam, just pay attention to how much super energy I get. Ballistic Slam gives a lot of super, especially when paired with the hands-on mod. Double hands-on at that. I'm only running 1 copy. I could be getting more, but you can spam so many supers this way when you see me just going on Ballistic Slam sprees. Now, melee spam and super spam is nice, but that's only half the battle. We have one other main theme of our build, and that's around the new aspect Storm's Keep. This aspect is absolutely insane. I genuinely believe it's one of the strongest things in the game right now. So it says, cast your class ability to grant a moderate amount of Bolt Charge stacks to you and nearby allies. While behind your barricade, you and allies gain stacks of Bolt Charge over time, and your weapons can discharge max stacks of Bolt Charge. So in the background gameplay, you'll often see me just toss up a barricade and just camp behind it for a while I just like throw Bolt Charge around and just like absolutely chunk things, because it does the damage of a solar ignition. So it's kind of crazy. It's a good way to like get free damage from like any range. So I can see it being really, really good in things like Grandmaster Nightfalls, where you can chill way in the back of the map with like a scout rifle and just get free lightning strikes everywhere. It's just a great way to get like free guaranteed damage from any range. So I can see it being good with sustained fire weapons such as like the Outbreak Perfected or the Wicked Implement or the Osteostriga, stuff like that that wants you to just lay on the trigger. Now there's actually some things we can do to get Bolt Charge even faster when we're camping behind our barricade, because there are certain weapons that can generate Bolt Charge charge themselves. One of which being the Thunder Lord, because Bungie updated this thing, so lightning strikes now grant a stack of bull charge. Now this lightning strike, it's not the lightning strike that triggers when you kill an enemy, it's only on sustained damage on like a chunkier target. So for like DPS, it's really good. Now testing it out against Carl here, just pay attention to how fast we rack up those stacks of bolt charge when chilling behind our barricade. So the Storm's Keep with Thunderlord is a pretty solid DPS combo. But the Thunderlord is not the definitive machine gun I ended up using with this build. Instead, I'm using a different machine gun, a brand new one called the Watchful Eye. I got it to drop with Overflow and Rolling Storm, and I absolutely love this roll. Rolling Storm says that final blows grant bolt charge, and while amplified final blows grant additional bolt charge. And you know how easy it is to kill trash mobs with the machine gun? It's the easiest thing, and we're pretty much always going to be amplified, so that's 2 bolt charge per kill. And then on top of that, Spark of Frequency got a brand new rework, so while amplified, every time you get bolt charge, you get that many plus 1. So when we're chilling behind our Storm's Keep, we're not getting 1 per second, we're getting 2 stacks every single time it triggers. On top of that, when we have amplified and we have Rolling Storm going, final blows grant 3 stacks of bolt charge. It just racks up so stupidly fast, especially when you're chilling behind a Storm's Keep barricade. Now testing it out against Carl, and you can see I have my overflow, so I have over 100 in the mag, which is very nice. Still kills him pretty quickly, doesn't rack up bolt charge as fast as the Thunderlord, but it's still pretty good. But you can see afterwards, when I start killing ads, I start getting 2 to 3 bolt charge per kill, and I just start throwing thunder all over the place. It's really, really solid. So this is why this is my main weapon with this build, and I didn't even know it existed until yesterday. Going into the season, I had a different loadout in mind. I had everything planned out, but as soon as this Watchful Eye dropped, I was like, wait a second, this could be insane, and it ended up being insane. My original main weapon with this build, the main focus that is still on my loadout by the way, is the Someday Shotgun. I crafted it with Enhanced Strategist and Enhanced Swashbuckler, because for those who don't know, perks that grant ability energy such as Strategist, Pugilist, and Demolitionist, on primaries they grant 10% energy per kill, 11% if enhanced, but on certain specials such as glaives, snipers, fusion rifles, and shotguns, it grants plus 20% ability energy per kill, 22% if enhanced. So with Enhanced Strategist on my Someday, I'm getting 22% of my class ability energy back on final blows, allowing me to spam a lot more Storm's Keep barricades. So 1 or 2 kills from this thing, it should give you all the energy you need to spam another barricade. So it's a really nice weapon to have on this build. I'm not going to say it's absolutely required, it's not like totally necessary, but it does help out in like low-level content situations. And in addition to that shotgun, if we take a look at our mod setup, the main idea here is to be able to spam barricades as much as possible because Storm's Keep is ridiculous and we want that as frequently as we can. So the main thing we're focusing on here is utility kickstart on our class items so that when we use a barricade, we get a chunk of free barricade energy back. So we need armor charge. We can hold up to 4 stacks with charged up on our chest, and then we can get armor charge faster with stacks on stacks on our boots. And then all we gotta do is make orbs, which we can do with Reaper on the class item, Arc Siphon on the helmet, and double hands-on on our gloves. And we can get more barricade energy with focusing strike on our gloves as well, so when we deal damage with the melee, it gives us class ability energy. And then if there's any orbs around us, we can scoop them up with powerful attraction on the class item. And picking up these orbs will also help all of our ability cooldowns with Absolution on the boots and give us some health back with recuperation. And our heavy machine gun is also another big crucial part of the bolt charge spam portion of this build. That's why I have double arc reserves on the chest. I originally had like melee damage resistance. I also had a kinetic reserves for my shotgun, but the machine gun just ended up being way too important, so I ran double arc reserves. You can replace one with the resist if you need to, and then I also ran a heavy ammo finder on my helmet, but you could also run a second hands-on if you wanted to. Now this ended up being my main loadout with the build, the Someday, the Cloud Strike, and the Watchful Eye. The Cloud Strike is another one that got a bolt charge rework, so now when you get rapid precision hits, you get a stack of bolt charge, and also when you get precision final blows and generate a lightning bolt at the target's location, you get a moderate amount of bolt charge. So it's another bolt charge machine. It does really good DPS, especially with that triple tap. With behind a rally barricade, you get like crazy stability, and then with double reserves, you can hold 41 ammo. In addition to triple tap, you can hold 69 in total. Nice. So yeah, this thing's just a DPS monster. So it's what I ended up going with. But if you're not a fan of running double specials, another thing you can run is the new Lodestar, the new exotic trace rifle in that slot. And then if you needed some DPS in your kinetic slot, you just swap out for something like a Supremacy. And go Supremacy, Lodestar, and Watchful Eye. Now let's break down the rest of our subclass. Our other aspect is going to be Knockout. Obviously, it's a melee build. It's a no-brainer. Buffs our arc melee damage, gives us health back when we get melee kills, makes us amplified all the time. So yeah, it's just a go-to for melee builds. Now for our fragments, we already went over Spark of Frequency, and then we have Spark of Focus. So after sprinting for a short time, our class ability regeneration is increased. So when we're running around the place charging up our Ballistic Slams, we're also getting barricade energy in the process. And then we have Spark of Amplitude, so rapid final blows while amplified generate an orb of power, and that's good to trigger our mods on our boots and get armor charge and stuff like that. And finally, we have Spark of Shock, so our grenades can jolt, just makes them a little bit deadlier. This mod is interchangeable though, so you can run like Spark of Resistance or Ions or whatever else you want to run. And that about does it for the Insurmountable Skullfort Bolt Charge Spam build, the fastest way to spam Bolt Charge on Titan. But is it the best way? I would say from low to mid-level content, absolutely for sure it's going to be the most consistent, the most aggressive. But when it comes to higher level content, it can still hold its own, but there's definitely other options I would use that I can stay from a distance with, like Heart of Inmost Light, or even like Precious Scars. I know that sounds kind of insane, but if you're chilling back just laying out with the Watchful Eye machine gun, you could be getting restoration for every kill that you do and just chill behind your barricade from a distance. So yeah, the Precious Scars is probably what I would try to use in like higher level content if I was trying to really sweat it out. But for like the more chill content, Insurmountable Skullfort all the way. Now in the background gameplay, I don't know if I already showed it or if I'm showing it now, but I did do a solo expert lost sector with this build, and it's at the start of a season with the fresh artifacts. So I'm 30 power below, so it's basically the difficulty of a Grandmaster Nightfall, and I was still able to do it. So if you're wondering if this build can hold its own in like the toughest content, it can. You just got to be a little bit more careful with the build and know how to use it. But yeah, for that kind of content, there's definitely other exotics that I would use. And you could also see in that expert lost sector run, I was using a different loadout for champion stunning purposes. So the loadout with this build isn't absolutely like definitive. It's not absolutely required. With this build, you can kind of run whatever you want so long as you have like a Rolling Storm weapon along with just your barricades, you're good, and you can just run whatever you want. And with that being said, there is one definitive weapon I would run with this build, but I don't have it and I don't know where to find it. It's this weapon right here called the Cuirass FR4, and it can roll with Discord and Rolling Storm. It's in the special slot, it's a fusion rifle. It's the aggressive frame. It's the archetype that got a rework recently, like the Coriolis Force. It's like a 3-round burst now. And yeah, this roll right here is going to be absolutely nasty for spamming Bolt Charge. But like I said, I don't have it and I don't know where to get it. So if you know, let me know down below in the comments. Looking at its name though, especially with the FR4, I'm assuming it's a world drop, but don't quote me on that. But anyways, I digress. As always, the dim loadout link to the build will be down below in the description, and also the pinned comment if you'd like to give it a try. And if you got anybody who are Titan mains, I'd appreciate if you share the video with them. This is something they might want to try out if they want to spam Bolt Charge. And thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to hit the like button. It really helps out a ton. And subscribe if you're new. Would love to have you here for more episode Heresy content on the way. Going to be doing some daily builds for the next week. So hope you stay tuned for that. And remember to check out our sponsor, Advanced GG, code Maven at checkout for 10% off your order. Link down below. And with that, I will catch you in the next video. See you later.